Hello Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. My name is Annie. I'm happy to have you all out there. As per usual, please come into this tarot reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to maybe learn something and better yourself or your situation. Highly advise that you only take away what resonates for you. Trust that your own intuition will be able to separate what is meant for you and what is not. And as a friendly reminder, you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. All right, so let's get one of these oracle cards out. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and set the intention now to get my Scorpios out there watching here today. Some clear, helpful, and insightful messages for wherever they are at on their spiritual path currently. We're going to start with a couple oracles and then we will hop right into the tarot. Okay? All right. First oracle card. Now I just did Taurus and they had this exact same one. I love that. Maybe you're dealing with a Taurus. May sweet and soft things find you. This is about harmony, ease, the inner child, and softness. I love, and I said the same thing to Taurus. I love the little like bumblebee costume that she's wearing there. There's something significant about a bumblebee in that to me, and I can't quite place it, but maybe that'll mean something to you. Maybe it's a tattoo or a nickname, or I don't know, maybe you're eating Honey Nut Cheerios. All right, and then charm. Somebody else said this too. Gosh, you're getting doubles. I think maybe it was Cancer. Yeah, it was, because I said it looked like Jennifer Lawrence, and I went on some big spiel about Leo energy. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo. All right, moving on. Sorry. Here we go. You mesmerize people with your charm and elegance. You have a style that captivates your audience. You use confidence to your advantage. So you might not be feeling that way. If you are, great, more power to you. If you're not, though, I think you're being asked to lean into that more, knowing that you have a powerful, very powerful Scorpio effect on other people. You are the harbinger, is that the right word? The bringer of transformation. So it's like people feel your impact. There's like a ricochet that is very long lasting, even if you're only with them for a few minutes. And I mean, I'm not saying that's true in every scenario, every person you meet, but I do think that I'm wanting to say vibration, but your impact is far more reaching than I think some of you realize. There's something, I'm literally seeing like something through the ethers. There's like a cosmic wave. There's like, I'm seeing like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, what's a good way of putting it? Almost like in like a science laboratory where sparks are being sent out, and there's like it's almost being relayed to me as like thunderbolts too. I don't, it's almost like you caused a tower moment in someone else's life. Ooh, that hit a little bit. Okay, I wonder if that's it. I don't know. Not just because of your charm, because of like your powerful influence or effect on them. And I'm not saying it's a bad tower that you caused, but it's almost like someone got a huge wake-up call because of you, Scorpio. I don't know if that's making sense. And maybe some of you work as healers. If that's the case, that totally makes sense why it would be coming up with like harmony. It's like needing to recharge your batteries after doing like heavy energy work with people. Of course, that's very specific, not for everybody. All right, so then for your gemstone oracle, the Black Prince's ruby lust. Each of us is born with a box of matches inside of us, but we can't strike them all by ourselves. So what inspires you? What ignites your passion? What ignites your enthusiasm and zest and energetic life force? Possibly a partnership of some kind. If it's not here yet, it might be coming in for you. And yes, certainly, I mean, with the word lust, it could be something kind of, sexy dynamo energy, but it could also have to do with like a really strong business partnership, particularly in the entertainment field or entertainment careers, or something where you're very seen, very visible, the face of the company, or designing the logo of a company, or I don't know, something with bees. I don't know. Maybe it's the letter B. I don't know, but bumblebees. I keep wanting to reference that, or sunflowers. I don't know. So this says the Hope Fight, card number 19, more sun energy. That makes me think of Leo again. I think Jennifer Lawrence is a Leo. I don't know why I keep mentioning her. Well, I do, because this card kind of reminds me of her look-ish, sort of. But twice I've mentioned her in the readings, and I'm wondering if it has to do with like the astrology sign or something. Maybe it's the name Jennifer. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know her sign, though. So I think she's a Leo, but I'm totally guessing. Leo Sag, maybe. I don't know. So somebody can look it up. Leave it in the comments. That would be fun. That would be fun to know. All right, we are going to hop into the tarot. Let's read this quick oracle card, and then we will see what's up. All right, the Hope Fight. Let's see. Hope is the feathered thing perched on your soul. The poet once said, it sings to bring you and your spark alive again and again. Now is the time to hold your hope in your hand like a fierce bird of prey that is willing to hunt your fear and doubt, consuming them. Hope isn't some essence that flies in and out of your life. It is essential like an element, air, water, earth, and fire. Hope. We are all living in cages with the doors wide open. Don't let this happen to you. Don't let this happen to your hope. Bring this feathered friend out of its cage through bravery and determination. Let your hope unfurl and take to the sky. I feel like you guys have a recent message about that too. Like, I don't know, it was like an oracle, like a balloon through the sky or something. I don't know, you may have to check back in the other videos if that's significant to you. But so that, again, that speaks of liberation. This almost reminds me of like the Nine of Pentacles lady, for those who are familiar with tarot, which is all about self-empowerment and sort of an embracing of who you are, flaws and all, and leaning into that with confidence and kind of like renewed self-respect, having a lot of pride for what you do and what you put out into this world. This almost looks bridal to me too, so maybe some of you are starting to engage in a relationship even further, and maybe wedding bells are in your future, or maybe you're bringing a relationship to the next level. With the Nine of Pentacles lady, which isn't here per se, but I am getting sort of a metaphor for that. We'll see if it comes out in this. Loyalty is a very important word. It's like that falcon that rests on her shoulder or her arm. It's like there's this idea of like, if you love something, set it free, and if it's meant to be yours, it'll come back. She doesn't have to fear about that, right? Because there's an established trust there. There's an established loyalty. It's like that falcon is her friend, so she grants it the freedom, and then it comes back because it wants to, not because it's being coerced to or made to feel guilty or being manipulated or emotional manipulation, right? That can kind of be a more darker side of like the Scorpio Pluto energy. And I'm not saying that you're acting that way. It's the opposite. It's almost like you're getting into a relationship where there's a healthier sense of trust, and there isn't that desire to check in on your person all the time from like a fear-based mentality or from a state of lack or not trusting. And certainly I'm not saying all of you are doing that or have done that in the past, but there does seem to be sort of like I'm just going to say like a healthier dynamic in a close relationship in your life. It could be something that starts off as friendship and maybe grows into something more lusty or passionate or sexual. But it actually seems like it could offer, it's like I'm hearing yin and yang. There's like a good balance to you two. It might be like an opposites attract type situation. Yeah, this person finds you very charming. It's almost like I'm hearing the word deadlock, something about like the eyes. It's like this person can't take their eyes off you, and you seem to have that kind of like lusty, I don't know, like come hither. There's like a yearning between these two, and maybe it's a same-sex couple. It certainly could be. It doesn't have to be, but I do feel like the energy is being relayed to me in these two, and there's like is transfix the right word? It's like, I don't want to use the word obsession because that has like, negative connotations, but there's just like this unspoken bond there. Okay, here we go for the tarot. Scorpio. What are some messages for Scorpio's best and highest good that I can share in the tarot? Messages they're going to motivate, empower, inspire Scorpio, help them better prepare for the coming weeks or months. Thank you. Knight of Cups, okay? So someone expressing their feelings, a conversation or a chapter that brings about a lot of healing. Somebody else had this card too. It's symbolically, it's like nursing a bird or an animal back to health, rescuing an animal, sheltering an animal. It may have actually been Leo who had this card. So triple down if you're dealing with a Leo. They keep coming up in your reading here. But metaphorically, again, it's like this something significant about the bird and the loyalty of something coming back or being, I don't know, like I'm wanting to use like the word uncaged or self-imposed limitations, being able to like see the illusion around that. And break away from it, break free from it, but it's almost like medicine. It's someone is helping to either help you in the process through this. There's almost a vibe here of being like a healer or like a doula, which I think that word came up in your oracle card last week too. It's like seeing people through very difficult transitions in their life. You're there to witness it. You're there to maybe be a good listener or hold their hand or coach them through. You're not necessarily always doing the work for them, but again, you're the catalyst, you're the initiator, you are the bringer of transformation, or the one who supports that heavy transformative process in other people's lives. And then you have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, and this, I'm using Haunted House Tarot, but like metaphorically, the idea of like the voodoo doll, right? That's not literal. Hang with me. There's like a metaphor here again of a releasing and a having built more of a solid foundation on trust. Once that has been established, there isn't a manipulative energy, and it is like manipulation in terms of like the magician energy of like using something otherworldly or spiritual or like witchcrafty to try and draw your person back, or use I don't know if it's dark magic. You know what I mean, though? It's like, and even if it's not that, it's like the, pardon me, I'm not being eloquent because Mercury is about to go retrograde. I'm going to blame that. It's like using unnecessary forces to try and bring your person back to you, when from the get-go it would be nice to know that like you trust your person enough to allow them to choose you. In the past, it's almost like you didn't give them an opportunity to choose you. And maybe that had to do with like a clinginess or a codependency, but I see you removing yourself from that pattern because maybe there's a relationship in your life where this person supports you in just the right way. It's like puzzle pieces that fit together. If you're a person who has a lot of air in their chart or lives up in their head, if you have a very active Mercury, you need to be with someone who establishes like, or can offer you positive reinforcement, or to sort of catch you before you start to slip and fall if you do spin out easily or have trouble with anxiety or depression. It's like you guys help lift each other up in different ways. So you both have superpowers, but you also both have, you know, shadow energy, as every single person does, but it's like your shadow meets their light and vice versa. And so there's a nice little back and forth there where you guys are able to support each other in a really good way. This feels like a healing relationship that is meant to come in. And you never had to force it. I think there was an understanding of letting go of control issues allowed this to breathe and develop organically. And then it comes in the Eight of Wands. Sorry, I almost said swords. But why are they in reverse? I guess, is my deck in reverse? Not really. No, so those came out in reverse for a reason. I don't usually read reversals, but I will because that felt kind of symbolic. This might be returning to the past, returning to something that you've been holding on to, and maybe it couldn't work because you were trying to force it. You were trying to make it work. And so when there is just that gentle releasing, when you allow the falcon to fly back to you because it wants to, not because you're forcing it or trying to, I don't know, like force something down someone's throat, or if it's not this, Scorpio, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to beat you up or bully you guys, right? I know you guys are deeply sensitive and feel things super deeply, right? Like, hashtag awesome. I love you guys for that. But I also feel like I have to walk on eggshells because I don't want to offend anyone, right? There's just something really nice about allowing someone to come into you naturally and not worrying yourself about it, or painting these false illusions or scenarios of what could possibly be going on behind the curtain that you're not privy to. I think there's a lot of anxiety for Scorpios about not knowing what's going on and needing to know all the answers. And sometimes when someone isn't in your life anymore, you don't know. I mean, yes, there's social media, but not everyone's on social media, right? So there is that kind of like obsession of like, I need to figure out what's going on. But here's the thing, Scorpio, like you're incredibly psychic. So even though it might not be spelled out clearly, you can still kind of catch a vibe for what's going on, right? You know? I also think if it wasn't trying to force something to happen, it was the fear of letting it go that it wouldn't come back. And for some of you, it does. With the Eight of Wands in reverse and the Four of Pentacles, it's like movement towards something we're holding on to. But I almost think it's I don't know, it's coming back from the past. It may have to do with a fire sign as well, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's like you released it to the universe and kind of gave it to God or whatever you believe in as a higher power. It's like you put your faith in the divine to understand like what's meant for me will always find me, and so I'm going to lean into that, try that rather than sort of, again, fear or lack mentality. Others of you, there's a storyline here of you sort of pulling out all the stops, bending over backwards, rearranging your entire life to make something work with this one person, and they weren't doing that for you. And it just, you can't, it was almost like you were tapping at an empty well. It's like you were doing everything to set this relationship up for success. Like you would have, I'm hearing that word, I would walk 500 miles. Like you would have done anything to show this person that you were in it. And the thing is, you already did. They knew. Like you didn't leave that, any sort of mystery surrounding that. They knew you were in it. Unfortunately, like they weren't in the same place. And so that may have ended. And there is a releasing with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. It's like we're not suffocating it. We're allowing things to grow and come in as well as exit our life organically the way they are supposed to in divine timing. That being said, I do think there's an offer from your past coming back. And for a lot of you, I think it's something that you do want. There might be two offers on the table, though, which could complicate matters. It could be that if this is romantic, and it doesn't have to be, but it kind of feels that way. I mean, you did have the Lust card coming out. It might be that you found yourself in a new situation and then something from the past comes back to I don't know, tempt you. I don't know if it's temptation in a bad way or it's, you keep getting the same messages on my channel, Scorpio. I literally can't. And then you have the King of Cups. That's you. So you seem to be in an advantageous position that you have options here. If this does have to do with job offers, the same message applies essentially. It's like something's coming back around to revisit you. Okay, so here's the thing. This Knight of Pentacles, possibly an earth sign, doesn't have to be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They are offering something real and legit, but it's very slow to come in. It's a very practical person, very strong work ethic. They may even have some air in their chart, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, particularly Aquarius, or possibly Scorpio in their chart. For some reason, though, that was the one that the universe was saying to you, not right now, and they took it away. They removed it from your path. That's coming back around again. Only this time I think it has the universe's blessing because you both are more ready now. This other one might be new. This other one almost has an energy of who you used to be, in that this person, I think they're a very powerful healer or spiritual, or there's a very strong connection to the divine and spirituality, creative, artist, poet, musician type energy here. Probably not super business savvy, but heart of gold. That kind of energy with your Knight of Cups. Possibly a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, or again, possibly an air sign too. You have air coming into that. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This person may have trouble with boundaries, emotional boundaries. They may have trouble like oversharing, or there's almost like a mirroring of them wanting to do literally everything to make it work with you, but you may not be as interested. So it's funny how like a narrative is being mirrored back to you of who you used to be when you didn't have healthier boundaries, or you were really trying to force a connection to happen when the universe was saying it's just not the right time. This person may be experiencing that scenario with you, only like you're a different character in this play this time. I hope that makes sense. One for this Knight of Cups. I do think too, if there was flirtation or chemistry in the past, maybe this isn't two people, maybe it's a blending of energies. It couldn't work because there was an element to it where it wasn't solid enough. Maybe both of you needed to work on your money situations or establish some sort of solid foundation in your personal life. It was almost like a pipe dream. It was a hope, but it was almost like I guess I'm going to have to revisit that later, or just push pause or walk away, because it's like, I don't know, it's like someone was being nursed back to health here. Maybe this connection was very healing, but maybe it was codependent, or there was something where, I don't know, it just, both of you had to go down your own individual healing journeys, but you probably met to impact each other and initiate or ignite that path of healing. But it's almost like you both still held on to each other. Yeah, that's an important message there. And then, I don't know, this could be messages from the past coming back, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and maybe this time, instead of just being a hopeless romantic or just a dream, or wouldn't it be nice if, cue the Beach Boys music, it's actually coming in with Pentacles this time, where it's like, hey, I actually have something to offer because I have done my healing work, and like I've set up a better life for myself, a better, foundation. Like I'm healthier, I'm more, fill in the blank, where I'm more able to give to this relationship in a way where I couldn't before. It's like I've graduated. There's almost something cute here of like I've earned my angel wings. For some of you, it's like you're dating a pilot. That's significant for some of you too, but it's like this person has gone through, like, I'm hearing like school of the hard knocks. It's like they had to graduate from the school of life in order to maybe grow up a little bit or mature a little bit more. Page of Pentacles. Again, this is saying to me that you have opportunities at your fingertips, at your hands, and that you have been working on your own spiritual healing and your own manifestations, but you've been doing a lot of work in terms of like nourishing your own soul, feeding your own soul, doing things that you love, doing what you feel you're being called to do, listening to like your inner child. A lot of winged birds going on here. I don't know what all these birds are about, but it's a metaphor for something. All right, do I have that deck? I just kind of heard like pull from the animal deck for Scorpio, but I don't have it in front of me, Spirit. I'm letting you down. All right, we'll do the other one. Bottom of the deck, Five of Swords. This may be someone you have a little bit of baggage with, and I'm not saying necessarily like that. It's just, yeah, maybe something happened in the past where there was a miscommunication or misunderstanding. This to me always speaks of a child who is magical. So if you have children, Scorpio, that could be talking about your children, or it may have to do with you as a child and being very sensitive to like almost like ESP, is that extrasensory perceptions, being very psychic, being very, and it maybe made you feel a little bit different or a little bit freaked out, or it was something that at one point you feared. Now you're owning it. You're owning your gifts. You're owning your powers. You're embracing them, and you're using them for like your best and highest good. A lot of you are working as healers in some capacity, and I use that term loosely. It's like you are medicine to other people in your life. You just don't know it. Some of you do. Some of you definitely do. Because some of you quite literally are graduating from some sort of program that is upping your salary, your title, it's like upping your game in your career. And for some of you, it's a very alternative, unusual, unique, individual path that you're pursuing, but you're all the more motivated and empowered to do it, even though it is a little bit, it's unusual, it's different. It's not the traditional like 9-to-5 stuff. The Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. 44, again, strength, Leo energy. My goodness. I don't know why we're reading from this deck, but we are. I'm listening to my intuition. If I could only find it. Oh, there's Owl Spirit. Now, see, we got to read that. I think that's why we did this. We're going to read Owl Spirit. Are you feeling overwhelmed and overpowered by all that you are sensing? Are you highly sensitive right now, in an information overload, feeling too much and taking in too much stimulation? The antidote for overwhelm is to become grounded and return to your safe nest so wisdom can offer you clarity and guidance on managing the flow. Let's see, take a break to ground yourself in the reality of your everyday senses. Go for a walk in nature. Perhaps you can stop and lie on the ground or hug a tree or stroll down the street beneath the soothing sky so that you can regroup and clear your energy field. Your wisdom and ability to make sense of all that you are feeling and experiencing will return as Owl Spirit reminds you that you need to get clear. I read that because there's so many owls. Like, it was so significant in here, and like the fact that like it was literally next to this one, I could just tell we were supposed to read that. So anyway. And then let's see, Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. Are you feeling shaky because you have made a bold move and have not yet seen confirmation that everything is going to work out, or is fear holding you back? Are you afraid to act until all risk of failure has been removed? The moment when there is no risk whatsoever will never come. So follow the urge of the Panther Spirit within and look your fear in the eye. Have you ever heard the famous line, the only thing that we have to fear is fear itself? Stare down your fear and it will retreat and make way for your courage to fill you from head to toe. Perhaps you're afraid you can't trust the power that is rising in you, and you fear the qualities you will find within when you look deeply at why you resist the challenge before you. Every part of you, no matter how dark it may seem, has a light quality. So be bold and face it down. Own the light and make peace with your shadow. Spirit trusts you, so be brave and trust yourself. All right, last but not least, for Scorpio. Presence. You're being asked to spend more time in the present moment, to stop ruminating about the past or longing for the future. Your life is happening right now, and when you're not present for it, you miss all of its beauty. All All right, be present. Page of Pentacles. I like that. Scorpio, that's what I got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I really, truly appreciate you. Please show me some love back and hit that like button. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I post readings in the future. If you want more content from me, I am on Instagram and Facebook, and I do a select amount of personal readings a month, so you're welcome to reach out and we can get that squared away for you. Thanks for joining me today, Scorpio. I am sending you all the best. Happy eclipse season, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.